can see in the background that our barn is still pretty much the same as it was, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago. Satsuma tree has one giant satsuma. This satsuma tree has a few more. I've staked them so maybe they can make it. And the Meyer lemon tree is loaded down. Fig is growing pretty well. All the raspberries died. I tell you what, when you have a period during the growing season or whenever else where an illness gets you down and you can't really work on things, it really starts to show. The man building the barn has been saying he's coming next week for, I don't know, about 3 months. The man fixing the tractor, same. To be honest, well, to be honest, I nearly walked into that spider web. But to be even more honest, this is just pretty discouraging to me. The one thing that has really done well and that I've really enjoyed this summer because I could do it on my own is my greenhouse. Watch the video of us putting it up using the RV. It's pretty great, if I do say so myself. You can see now the tomatoes, they're still producing, but they're nearly spent. I've taken the corn down to bare stalks so I can grow some fall green beans. Green beans are still going pretty strong, and the okra is doing great. Now I realize that I neglected to post any of my planting videos, so I'll give you a quick idea of what I did. And this okra is really good too. It's called Star of David. It can get kind of big and still be pliable. Anyway, so you can see here I have woven polyethylene ground cover. It is the expensive commercial kind because it is said to last for between 10 and 15 years. I have a drip system. Put all that in myself according to the manufacturer's instructions, and it was pretty easy. I had summer squash in here. They did really, really well. I had purple hull peas. They did well. I had a few more peppers than this. They did very well. And I had cucumbers where this long empty row is here. I took those out about 4 days ago. I'm still trying to give my melons a chance, and you see these spent tomatoes over here. They've still got green tomatoes growing on them. I'm going to give them a little chance to ripen, but it is getting cooler here. I have a few watermelons coming on here and there. They're very sweet. Oh, another spider web. I guess they really like it in here. It's awfully protected, but I'm sorry. I'm going to go through unaccosted. These cherry tomatoes, the Sweet 100s, they are wonderful. And these determinate varieties, they will just keep growing and growing and growing. So some of them are taller than my head. I've got Cherokee purples. I've got Sweet 100s. Planted a few Park Swappers. They didn't really do anything. I won't plant those again. I had some yellow tomatoes that were called Lemon Boys. We really enjoyed those just for the novelty and for the taste. They were good. And then over there I did just your run-of-the-mill Early Girls, Celebrities, Atkinsons, and beefsteaks, and they all produce very well. My greenhouse is a 35 by 75. I got my drip tape at Drip Depot. was very simple, very fun to watch this all come together. My soil was terrible, so I did buy topsoil this year, and that was a big expense. But I plan to put my chickens in here, or at least their manure, after I gather them up, so that they can scratch everything up, aerate it. We'll put the sides down, and we'll put their electric fence in here so that they don't damage anything. Bye, babe. And see if they can scratch it up and aerate it for us, and especially get rid of the tomato hornworm larva that is bound to be in the soil, because the tomato hornworms were all over my tomatoes this year. I sprayed 7 at the base of the plants at the beginning of the hornworm season. That took care of some of it. I was careful not to spray it on any buds or fruits, but I would rather have a harvest than not use anything. So I know that'll go against the grain with some folks, but that's okay. You do your thing in your greenhouse garden, and I'll do my thing in my greenhouse garden. So this is it. This is the end of some winter squash, and I'm going to come in here and do cabbage and collards and rutabagas and broccoli and lettuce, and see how a fall garden happens. And then over the winter, I'm going to let my chickens stay in here, or some of my chickens. We'll see. I don't want to decimate the place, but I do want it nice and churned up. So in a summer that was so full of sickness, basically, so sick that I didn't even do any videos, this was the bright spot. This and the bees. If you haven't watched my video harvesting my Flow Hive honey for the first time, those bees are at my parents' house. They have an abundance of forage for the bees, and really it would seem that we have a lot, but my bees did not flourish here. So when we decided to get new bees and set up new hives, my dad wanted to help me with that, and I was so excited that he did, and we set up the bees at his house. So if you haven't watched that Flow Hive harvest video, or us putting up this greenhouse using our RV, go watch those. They're fantastic. I think you would enjoy them. So I'm going to try to get these chickens corralled. The thing about this farm is my husband has a full-time job. My 2 girls are seniors. My son is gone. He's living his own life. My 15-year-old has football and cross country in addition to his schoolwork, and I have a job, but I'm the one interested in working on the farm. So I do. They've headed up there. Look at them. I'm gonna go see if something, they've just started going in the greenhouse. And I'm glad they didn't go all spring, because I'm sure they would have pecked holes in all of my tomatoes. But now that it's the end, and I intend to corral them this weekend, I'm not too concerned about it. Those are all my Wyandotte chicks that I raised, and a few little Copper Moran crosses here and there. But what I was saying was, I'm the only one interested in working on the farm. So it takes me a long time, and some things never get done. And so that's why I've got to scale it down to a manageable size for just me. So we'll see how that goes, and hopefully I'll be able to bring you along. Like, share, subscribe.